Hello all, welcome back. And here we are going to solve one of the most important coding challenges in JavaScript. Okay, this is definitely more interesting, but you should do practice, right? You should try first and then watch the full video so that you can understand. So let's see first what is the problem statement. Okay, we have a string, like you can take your name or any name or any string. So here expectation is you should write a logic to get the output, like so how many times each and every character has repeated in that string. Suppose here Swami Vivekananda is a string, so here the first character is S. Okay, how many times it has repeated? So one time, right? If you observe, it has repeated one time. So you should display, you should return a object with key values. Okay, so here keys should be a characters and the value should be the count of that character, how many times it has repeated in that string, particular string. So here S has repeated one time, W has repeated one time, A has repeated 5 times, and M has repeated one time. Like that, we should get all the details. So I hope you guys understand what is the requirement. Okay, now tell me how many minutes you can solve this one. Okay, what I'm saying, how much time do you need to solve. Okay, you don't need to mention in comment section. You don't need to communicate with me. Just note down on a paper how many minutes you are going to solve it. That is matters, right? Suppose if you solve one problem, suppose if you take 1 hour and if other person can take 30 minutes, so definitely interviewers will give more priority for that person. So we should understand how to solve the problems, and we should solve in a less time. That is also matters. That's why to practice this one, so I'm just suggesting, just note down, just for understanding purpose, just note down on a paper how many minutes you are going to solve this one. Okay, and just try, pause the video and open a laptop and try to fix that issue. Try to find out the solution and try write the logic and written in the object with key value pairs. Okay, and if you are not able to solve in that particular time, don't get disappointed, because we are here to learn. Okay, we are here to learn only. So no one is perfect in the world, so every day we should learn, we should do practice. By practice, definitely we will become um, more perfect. So let's see, I hope you are trying. So once you have done, just come back again and watch the full video. That's fine. So here suppose for beginners, I'm saying for beginners. So to solve this one, we need, because we are going to use some simple techniques here. So first of all, we should learn those separately, and then we can use those techniques in a solution simply. So here the output is object, right? Output is an object. And once you find out the count of a character, how many times it has repeated, you should create a key value pair and you should update into this object, right? That is also very important. If you don't know how to create a new key value pair for an object, then we can't solve this problem. So now, so let's see, I'm just putting like constant. Suppose the student is there. This is an empty object. So student has the first name, suppose triple R, okay, and the last name as suppose K. Something is there. So you want to add an extra key value pair. Okay, if you can define it here, but here we are going to write some logic, right, to calculate how many times an individual character has repeated. Once you know the count, at the time you should add dynamically, right? For that, just practice now here itself. Here itself. So one way is like just do a student dot. Suppose I want to add age. Okay, suppose 20. So you see, do console that log. So that log. Now, if you just log the student, definitely this student will have a three properties, and you will see that. Just clearing. Yes, file name is app. So if you see, the first name is there, last name is there, age is there. So first name and last name we just defined here itself, and age we added dynamically. Dynamically we just added key is the age and value is 23 to this object. This is one way. Okay. Another way is you can do like this student of, I'm just using like square brackets, okay, and location. Suppose if you want to give a location, so just a string as a key. And location, what's the location? Suppose right now I'm in Hyderabad. Hyderabad. Now if you see whether it will work or not. Clear? So now, yeah. So if you see, first name is there, last name is there, age is there, location is also there. So now we understand how to add a key value pair dynamically to an object. So once you have done practice this one, then we can go and try to understand one more simple logic. So I hope you guys understood. Okay, note down separately. So we have two techniques are there. Okay, maybe we definitely we have another thing, other things also, but this is I prefer, I'm going to use this technique to solve this problem. So how can we do that? Object name, and in the braces, just in double quotation, just provide the key name and just assign a value for that. That's fine. So here in future, like after 5 minutes or something, what we are going to do, so output, what we can do, output of suppose some individual characters, so that is n. Okay. N equal to how many times, suppose we calculated some count, suppose 2 or 3, how many times n has repeated n, I think 2 times. So now if you see n, so I'm just removing everything, I know nothing is there, so it's an empty object. And if you just do console.log output, so hopefully you will find that key value pair. It's easy, right? So now you can add it. So for S, how many times? W, how many times? A, how many times? So we understand how, suppose if you know the count and if you know the character, then definitely we can add a new property and value pair. Okay, property like key value pair, we can add into that object. So one logic, one thing we understand. Second thing, so we are going to use another technique here. So I'm just removing this one. I hope you understand. Okay, no, don't submit it on a sub page or something. So I'm just removing this one now. Okay, so now we should understand another simple thing. Okay, split. Suppose if you have an array, or suppose if you got a string. So, but you want to split this string into, okay, small words or individual characters, and if you want to construct an array. So why we need to use that technique, we are going to understand in few minutes. So suppose if you have a string, suppose the same string is there. So what I'm doing, the constant, suppose a triple a, what I'm doing here, if you see, if you want to split, based on, suppose if you give an empty space, what it will do, it will split this string, entire string, based on this space. Okay. So then if you do console.log triple a, then what will happen? It will return an array. And it will split based on the space. Suppose how many empty spaces you have. So based on that, it will consider this as one item, this as one item, and it will push into this array. So let's see the output. So here, now you see, it has split it into two words, that is for me and Vivekananda, and it has created a new array and it is provided those values. Suppose if you want to, suppose if you have another word, suppose Vivekananda is great. So what will happen? I hope you know the answer, right? I hope you know the answer. So if you see, it is splitting into the 4 words, and those 4 words are available in that particular array. So this, because we are going to use a split to solve the actual problem. And one more thing is that suppose if you want, but you want to split into individual characters, because I want to split this into not based on the empty space. I want to split. Suppose if you have a 10 characters, I want 10 characters to split into single item. So at the time, just remove this space. Just remove this space. Now just try. Now just try. So if you see, it has split it beautifully. SWAMI Swami, and space also, because it is considering the space also a character. That's why we got it. So we can later, if you don't want, we can remove it. Okay, we can filter out and whatever we can do with other techniques also. So the difference is if you put a space, it will split based on this space, and if you don't put space, okay, it will split into individual characters. So I will show you the both. So already we have seen without space. If you see, if you give a space, it is showing Swami and Vivekananda as a two items. But if you don't give a space in that single quotations, it is going to split into each and every character. So I hope you guys understood. But in here we understand how to add a key value pair to object. That is one technique. And second one is how to split into an array based on some condition. This is one. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And here, so first technique, that adding new property to object that we have learned, and how to split a string, how to split a string to array based on some condition. So we understand two techniques. Another one is the filter, because we need to know that how many times A has repeated, how many times I has repeated. So if you understand filter concept in JavaScript, that is the method on top of array. So that if you understand that one, we are going to solve this very easily. Okay, so let's see. So how to understand the filter. So let's take some example. Let's take some example. Suppose I'm just taking the constant. I'm just removing this. I hope you guys understood, right? First two techniques. Second one, suppose if you don't know what is filter, just follow this. Otherwise, you can forward it. If you know how to add a new property to the object, if you know already what is the split, and if you know how to filter, you don't need to watch all these things, because it's a time waste process. If you don't know, just please practice it. If you know, you can forward to 3 or 4 minutes on that. You can watch the perfect solution in the end. So like constant, I'm just putting like suppose array. So here I'm just putting k and r and v. And again I'm just putting k, again p, again r, again k. So observe carefully, because I need to know how many times the k, okay, how many times the k is there in this array. So we can do with the help of filter. So we can filter something. Suppose if you have a string like mangoes and some different fruits, if you want to filter out based on the fruit name, so definitely you can do that, or you can do movies or whatever the example you can take. But here anyway we are going to split this total string into small characters and pushing into the array, right, with the split method. That's why after that we are going to apply the filter method. So that's why we are just practicing here, just a playground to practice. Okay, here I want to filter. Okay, I want to filter the character k, how many times it has repeated. So how to do that? So it was simple. So using the constant, so I'm just putting triple A is equal to array dot filter. So array dot filter, on which basis you need to filter. That is very important. Okay, array dot filter, if you give a callback function, it is going to apply on each and every item in that array. If it is, if this condition is true, then it will return that into triple A, otherwise it will skip. Suppose here what I'm writing, suppose here it will take each and every item, and we are checking this item triple equal to k or not. So what will happen? First, it will pick the first item. If it is k, it will push that into triple A. That means a new array. So R is not going to match, V is not going to match, K is going to match. So again, it will push that K into triple A. So it will do the same thing. So how many Ks we have? Okay, three character Ks. K have repeated three times. So now just see, let's just see console.log what is the value of A, because what it will do, so what are how many characters, how many times the k has repeated, it is as identifies those items and it has pushed into the new array. So it will give three k's. Now if you see k and k and k, now you know, right, how many times k has repeated, because you have an array of three items having the same character. So if you just find out the length, then you got the answer, right? How many times a character has repeated in this array. So now just go and see three times. Three times. Suppose if you want to see how many times this R, the character R has repeated. So two times, fantastic. How many times this character V has repeated? The only thing what we are doing, we are just giving a new key, new character. So it is going to filter and it is giving the count. Maybe I think I did some spelling mistakes. Yeah. Yes. So you understand three techniques. One is if you have a array like this, all if you have splitted all these characters into array, then if you apply the filter condition and if you just do dot length of that result, you got the count, and you know the character, and you got the count, and then you need to add to that object. So I hope you guys understood what is filter. So please, just if you are a beginner, please do practice individually what is filter, how it is working. Okay, you should know what is the difference between the filter and find, right? Okay, what is the difference between the filter and find? Filter give all the matching results. Find will return the first matching result, right? So here we need the total count, how many times that particular character has repeated. So that we are using filter. Fantastic. So here we understand three techniques. One is, the first technique is how to add a key value pair to object, and how to split as given string, and how to filter on array. So if you use these three techniques, with the help of these three techniques, we are going to solve the actual problem. So now if you see, I'm just creating a function. Hopefully, now at least now pause the video. I already given clues. You should split it, you should filter it and add it. So here, okay, I will change the order also. And almost I have given perfect clues to you. So what I'm saying, just split that string into array and filter based on each and every character. Once you got the count, and just add key and value pair to that object. So at least now suppose if you got stuck, maybe you have note down that I can solve in 30 minutes. Maybe if you didn't solve that one, don't worry. So now I have given a clues, right? Again, just note down in how many minutes you are going to solve this problem from now, whether it is 15 minutes or 20 minutes or again 30 minutes. So this is all learning purpose only. If you're not able to solve it, don't worry. Just practice multiple times, understand all the techniques. Definitely after 2 weeks, you can solve this problem in 5 minutes only. Maybe it is not going to take 5 minutes also, if you are able to write quickly. Okay. So it's based on logical thinking and how much practice we have done. Fine. So already I have given a clues, right? First, what we need to do, we need to split and we need to filter and we need to add to the new array. So okay, let's see. I'm just taking the function. Okay, let's go the function. Otherwise, okay, first do it with a plain logic. Later, if you want, we can add a function. That's what we do. So we have already output array. Output object is ready because it's empty values. Nothing is there. So once we got the result, we are going to push into that object. So here we need to check each and every character, right? Each and every character, how many times it is has repeated. And one more thing, so if you see, sometimes so S is capital letter, and suppose if is there any other S, suppose in this example there is no S, it's small letter. But suppose if you have taken your name or any other names, there is a high chance that uh, you will get one capital letter and the same character will be in a small letter. So that it's better to convert it into a lower case. Okay, before going to apply the logic, it's better to convert into lower case so that we can't get the duplicates. Okay, I hope you guys understand what I'm talking. So fine. So what I'm doing. Otherwise, we can do one thing. First, I will do it. Let's see what is the problem if you don't convert into the lower case. Then we can convert into the lower case. Then I think hopefully we can understand in detail in that situation. Okay, fine. So now, so we need to check each and every character. That's why obviously we should go with a for loop. Let I equal to 0 and I less than. So what is the string and the length? Okay, how many characters are there? Definitely we should repeat and we should check each and every character. We should first pick S and how many times it has repeated, and we should check W and how many times it has repeated. That's and then push into this object. So here, so first what it will do, if you do like str, okay, str of I means first I value is 0, that's why you will get yes, and then you can apply split and filter and the other logic so that you will get the count. So now let's see how I'm doing so that you will understand. So first what I'm doing, I'm splitting the given string, okay, based on some condition. So what I'm doing, okay, str dot split. So here I want each and every character into separate item in that array. So that's why I'm just putting, I'm not giving space here. If you give a space, it will split based on this space. If you don't give a space, what will happen? It will split into, it will split each and every character into a new array. So once you got the splitted array, what we need to do? We should apply filter, right? So let's see. Suppose for understanding purpose, I will show you what is the result here. Constant triple A. So we have splitted console.log. Suppose if you use a for loop, it will give a same result like 10 or 15 times. But for understanding purpose, I'm just doing. So every level, okay, for each and every character, it will going to take a complete a string and it will split. So observe carefully what it is doing. It's splitting into the array. So now what we need to do? What we need to do? We need to filter, right? Dot filter, not fill. Dot filter because this array, it's an array. That's why you can apply filter. So what is a filter? Because already we have done, right? So we need to check. We need to check each and every character with a targeted value. Suppose here here in the filter array, you got all the characters into a single array, and here you are taking a reference. Okay, now we are checking this character that yes, the first time whenever you are looping this for loop first time, str of I is s, first character is s. So now what we are doing, we need to check how many times this s has repeated in this string, how many times this s has repeated in this string. So here what I'm doing, so item triple equal to triple is equal to, let me, so each and every item we are doing, right? Okay, this each and every item we are checking whether it is equal to str of I. Okay, what I'm doing, whether this yes, because we are checking first yes with the first yes, yes with second yes, second character, that it is going to check each and every item in that array, each and every item in that array. So observe carefully. So we are just checking yes. How many times? Okay, yes, it's going to filter, right? So one time, then it is checking each and every item. So one time it is repeating. So it will return that one. And if you see, if you just put dot length, I'm just putting dot length. Let's see here. I'm just logging str of I also. Okay, how many times this particular character has repeated in that splitted array. Okay, splitted array. I'm just giving that character and the length of the repeated values. So now observe carefully. I'm just doing clear. Just getting some error. Item is not found. Okay, maybe I did some mistake. Sorry, sorry, because it should have arrow function. Right? So item, right? Item arrow mark. This item triple equal to, because maybe already you have identified my mistake. Okay, sorry. So if you see, oh, we got the result, we got the result. You see, S has repeated one time, W has repeated one time, A has repeated 5 times, M has repeated one time, I has repeated 2 times. Suppose if you got confused with the big string, just do one thing. Just do one thing. Just take a simple word. Suppose MS Dhoni. MS Dhoni. I love MS Dhoni. You know. So M has repeated one time, S has repeated one time. D has repeated one time. So almost here there is no repetitive characters, right? Let's take another one. Just take your name also. Okay, suppose let's take suppose AA, BB, and CC. Okay, now you will get the clarity. Yes. So see, first A has repeated 2 times, A has repeated 2 times, and this empty space has repeated 2 times, and this B has repeated 2 times. Again, this B has repeated 2 times because we have a duplicates. Don't worry, we can remove those duplicates easily. So if you see, but we got the count right. First, we are checking, we are taking the first A, and we are taking this string, and we are splitting into the split based on that. We are splitting each and every character into array, and we are applying this condition. We are applying this condition, and it is checking each and every item whether it is equal to A or not. Okay, how many times it is equal to A? 2 times, so that it is going to push those items into double A, and here we are just checking A dot length. So I hope you guys understood. Please do practice. If you have a confusion, just do a practice. You will get the clarity. Still, you have a confusion, no problem. You can just comment in the comment section that which is the difficult part for you to understand, so that I will explain in detail again. So finally, here we got that one character and how many times that character is repeating in that string. So fantastic. The only thing, the third step is we need to add that new property to that object. How to add that? It's a very simple thing. So once you got the key and once you got the value, observe carefully how I'm adding. So here output, right? This output, right? With the this braces, just mention what is the, so we should provide in the format of the, I'm just putting like string of I. So string of I is equal to a dot length. So here I'm just removing console.log. Observe carefully. So once you got the length, or even you can do directly here itself. Length. So here the count. So now directly you can just go. So first in the for loop, first it will take the first character, and in this one line of code it will check how many times it has repeated, and it will give that count. And now here you are pushing a new item with the Key, what is a key? What is a key? That character itself is a key and value is the count. Now let's do console.log. Console.log. Fantastic. Now see, beautiful, right? Here A two times, empty string two times, B two times, C two times. Now if you see here, previously it is showing A two times and A two times. This is repeating two times actually because we have two A's. That's why it has applied this logic for two times and is written the count as two times, but it is returning two times. Here it is showing only one time. Do you know what is the reason? Do you know what is the reason? Do you know what is the reason for that? I will explain. I will explain. But here one problem is there. Okay, we don't need to check how many times this empty string has come, right? So we need to skip this one. Okay, we need to skip this one. How to skip this one? Just do the simple thing. So just put if condition. If str of that particular instance triple is equal to empty, we should not do anything. So what we need to do, if that is not equal to empty, we should apply this logic. Otherwise, should not do anything. So I'm just pushing. That means before checking the logic, I'm just checking whether that string is that is a really character or it's a string. If it is a string, we are not going to do anything. Like it will go to the else block. If it is not a empty string or empty character, so it is going to calculate. Suppose the first A is there. So A is not triple equal to empty string. So that it will go and execute this one. So that we can avoid that. CLS. So if you see, we got A two times, B two times, C two times. Okay. Apart from that, previously we have A has repeated A colon 2, A colon 2 whenever we do console.log happen, right? So that I will explain in the end, don't worry. But here, one problem is there. You see, if we give AA, BB, and CC, what it will do, it will consider capital A as a separate key and small a as a separate key, so that it will give a different results. Carefully. What is giving? Capital A has repeated one time, small a has repeated one time. But normally, what is our goal? So total, whether it's a capital A or small a, doesn't matter for me. So how many times the character A has repeated? So for that, what we need to do, we should take convert into all characters into one case, either lowercase or uppercase. That is fine, right? So it's better to convert that to a lowercase so that it will be easy. So that's why what I'm doing, string str dot lowercase. Lowercase, fine. Now go and execute it. What is showing? Why it's showing error? Assignment to constant. Okay, I have taken a constant, right? So once you declare any thing with a constant, you can't reinitialize, right? That's a fundamental thing. So let's go and execute it. So if you see, A has repeated two times, B has repeated two times, C has repeated two times. So we got the really beautiful concept. This is the final code. So, but only one thing is pending. So that I will explain. So now go back and check Swami and Swami Vivekananda. So for Swami Vivekananda, what will be the result? So S has repeated one time, A has repeated four times, W has one. So like that you can cross check. Or you can give your name, like I'm giving my name here. Raghavendra. Okay, okay, okay. Or not. So I'm just giving capitals and small letters. Here R is repeated two times, right? So let's see. It's all fun. So whenever you're playing with your name, you will get some more energy. So I'm sticking back to Swami Vivekananda again. So So these are the three techniques we have used, right? Just remember those things. And one thing is pending. I will explain that. So now fine. So here previously I told you that suppose for yes we got some duplicates, but whenever we push those things into this object, those duplicates are gone. So how to this how that is happening, I will explain here. So if you see one object is there, let student is equal to the first name is A. Okay, what is that? First name is A. And here you are trying to add another item with the same key. Okay, student of first name is P equal to. Now tell me what will be the output of the student. Console.log student. Whether it will maintain two keys like first name A and another first name B, or it will store already first name is there. That's why it will throw an error here. What will happen? What will happen? It will override, right? See, if you already given first name as A and dynamically if you just try to give some value for the same key, it is going to override that key with that value key and value again. So if you do again student of again first name equal to C, okay, then you will see only that C. First name is C. Got it? So if you want getting some confusion, just comment this one. CLS, fantastic, fantastic. Here the same thing happening. Here what is doing like yes, okay, we are giving count three times, okay, and here already suppose right now, okay, for that we don't have initially we don't have anything. So first time S has repeated calculated for S, and again for second instance also it will calculate again. So at the time also it will get three. So what will happen? Even if you try to push two things two times of the same duplicate things, so it will consider only one time because it will go to override the previous one. So that's why we are avoided those duplicates. Okay, still have a confusion. I will show you one more time. This is pushing, right? Okay, before that, if you do console.log str of I comma call. Okay, before pushing if you just check the logs you will get duplicates. But here I will take a simple one A, B, and C. So observe carefully. Let me clean up this thing because hopefully you understand. Save it. Yeah. So if you see A has A, the calculation has done A to A again 2, but here in the output we are getting A2 only one time, right? Because A has repeated two times, this A has repeated two times, this first B has repeated two times, the second B has repeated two times. Okay, but we are doing that calculation. But end of the day, whenever you are pushing into this output object, the same key and same value, it is going to override. That's why here we will see A only one time, B only one time, C only one time. I hope you understand. So if you didn't understand anything, just let's watch this video again. Please do practice. Okay, if you know these logics, I think definitely you feel that Raghu you have taken too much time to explain the simple concept. But generally, I'm going to explain everything. At least it should understand for beginners as well. So that's my goal because whenever we explain something, if beginners also can understand, then that will be more useful. Because anyway, if you are smart, if you are intelligent, you can understand by watching any video or by just going through any documentation. You can understand. For beginners it's very difficult. That's why I'm just trying to explain each and everything in detail. Still it is difficult for you, no problem, just putting in the comment section that Raghu, please explain much more simpler way so that, okay, definitely I will come up with much more simpler explanation for you if you're not able to understand this one. But first thing, you should know the JavaScript first, and you should know how to write a for loop. You should know how to what is split and what is filter, and you should have some idea about how to use all these array methods. Right? Please do practice those things individually so that you can solve the complex things easily. So I hope you guys understood. Right now, I will give one assignment for you. Are you ready, or already you're tired? So, okay, no problem. We can do one thing. So anyway, I'll come up with that interesting question, because if you understand this one, if you done practice for this one, then you can solve that the next level complex thing. So what is that question is, suppose if you have employees, employee ID, salary, and pay slip for that particular month, something's there. So, and if you are storing multiple employees information, suppose employee Raghu is there. Okay, he has three pay slips, and Vijay has three pay slips, and other employee has some pay slips information, anything. So you need to group by either month of that pay slip, or you can group by employee ID. So that's going to be very interesting. So definitely I'm going to explain that in the next session, so that hopefully if you're interested to watch this one, okay, please do practice and get ready for the next coding challenge. That is going to be very interesting. And if you have, you see, a lot of things are there. A lot of things are there. We are going to solve one by one, one by one. Okay. So even if you have any other interesting coding challenges, please share with me. I will also learn. Thank you, and see you in the next interesting coding challenge.